good, y'all? It's your boy J Swelve. I am the host of J Swelve TV. And y'all know we still in the thick of spooky season, so I figure I give you my thoughts on Marvel Zombies that I just finished last night. Finally. Almost a month to the day, but in the words of whoever first said this quote, better late than never. Now, out the gate, I gotta say, I really did enjoy this series a lot more than I thought I would. That first episode, bro, I'll tell you, that shit was hard to get through. But once I finally got through it, I was able to finally acknowledge that this series is literally all gas, no breaks. Very little breaks, actually. There are stop points in this series. It's very far in between. It's a lot of great action in it. The zombies are moving extremely crazy in this series because, mind you, these are not just regular zombies. These are zombies from the MCU. Mind you, a good majority of Earth's mightiest heroes have been turned into these zombies. The team that we're following in this series, I mean, we got a lot of good hitters, but it progressively gets to that point, right? And I think I like that about the series a lot, is that we start off with this team of Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. We got Kate from Hawkeye. Friday, which is an invention Riri made using Tony Stark's Iron Man suit. And then we got the main character of the series, Kamala Khan or Miss Marvel. And this group is, they're capable. When you gotta fight a zombified version of Captain Marvel in the first episode, and it's just those four, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like your chances. Like, zombie Captain Marvel in the first episode is mad crazy. How this series held no punches either, killing off people in every episode. In this first episode, we had Kate getting taken out by Captain Marvel. I don't know what she thought that Trick Arrow was going to do to show, but she gets eviscerated. Then we see Miss Marvel try to run at Captain Marvel. And this series is a lot of fan service too, by the way. I mean, the MCU has just become a lot of fan service, to be honest. We're getting people from all of these different phases that we've never seen interact with each other. New characters coming together to fight against this zombie epidemic. And it is cool. It's just sad that away from Marvel Television, in the actual MCU, Marvel Studios, we have not seen some of these characters link up yet or do anything significant just yet. But that unfortunate fact from Marvel Studios does not impact this Marvel Television series at all. A lot of the crossovers I like. I like seeing Black Panther fight 1v1 against Thanos. I like seeing Worldbreaker Hulk fighting against Zombie Thor in essentially a Thor Ragnarok rematch. I like seeing Blade absolutely putting Ghost in a blender. If you've seen the trailer for the series, it should be no surprise when I say Blade, which is another thing that Marvel Studios has fallen short of as opposed to Marvel Television, being able to adapt Blade in some kind of way. Even though this is essentially Moon Knight Blade with Khonshu residing in Blade, it was great seeing the character on screen in the big 2025, not included in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I even like seeing Red Guardian fight off against Captain America, though I do wish he had his full body. That is one gripe I have with the series, is that yet again you have to watch other series in order to fully understand what's going on in Marvel Zombies. After the last episode, I went to heavy spoilers and a Nando cut. Shout out to them. Great channels. Go subscribe if you haven't already. Get more insight on exactly what was going on throughout the making of the Marvel Zombie series. They reminded me that in What If Season 1, Episode 5, mind you, Season 1 of What If. They've dropped 2 seasons since then. What If Season 1 happened in Phase 4 of the MCU? We're in Phase 6 now. You expect me to remember what happened in a random episode of Season 1 of What If? I'm just saying, Marvel, y'all could have gave us a recap at the very beginning of the series to kind of get us back in the swing of exactly what the hell is going on in this universe. In that episode, though, we find out that it was essentially Hank Pym that started this zombie virus. After Janet Van Dyne gets lost in the quantum realm and Hank tries to go save her, she turns into a zombie after being in there for Lord knows how long, turning Hank into a zombie. Then Hank comes back into the real world and almost turns Ant-Man into a zombie. Luckily, they was able to get his head. And that's how the zombie virus started in our world. Quickly taking over the Avengers, Scarlet Witch, Thanos. So yeah, the world is pretty cooked. And I just wish that we would have gotten that recap at the very beginning of the series so that I had more insight on what I was about to get into, because that episode of What If, bro, that shit like 4 or 5 years old at this point. I'm thinking it was just a Russian roulette type of draw in terms of who was the zombie to start out this series. Don't get me wrong though, I'm definitely happy that they picked up this series after the events of that episode. I just was aware of what was exactly going on. Another gripe I had while watching this series is that while I'm not mad at them making this into a television show, I do think that it might have worked better as a movie. I know that they didn't make it into a movie because reports were saying they wanted Spider-Man to be a part of it. And it makes sense remembering that he was a part of that What If episode, but like in this series in particular, Spider-Man really doesn't do much. He's shown briefly in episode 3 and he has a presence in episode 4. It doesn't really do too much in that episode. So while I do appreciate them continuing the continuity from the What If series, I never thought I would say this, but damn, I kind of wish Spider-Man was not a part of this series. Love you, Pete, but you just made this shit entirely more complicated than it needed to be. I don't know what the reception was for this series, but I feel like if it was a movie, it would have been a lot better than the TV series. That's just me personally. Some of the emotional beats that this season tried to put on, like the death of Yelena, just didn't hit for me. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a big Yelena fan. I love the relationship between Yelena and Red Guardian in Thunderbolts and in Black Widow, but I just didn't get that same feeling watching Marvel Zombies. And when her mom died and we seen Yelena and Red Guardian react to that, I was like, damn, that's kind of tough. I didn't really feel that when it was Yelena's time to go. I also felt the same way about Thor dying. Now, I'm not really the biggest Thor fan. Now, I did like his fight with Scarlet Witch a lot before he went out, but I don't know, I just really didn't feel him going. He came right back, actually. And then he called Kamala an Avenger before he passed. That shit was so cringy to me, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all just need to get the Young Avengers out. All this build up with no payoff is just like, come on, y'all. I do think I know the direction that they want to take with the Young Avengers, just a theory. I'll probably put that video out next week or November, I don't know, but y'all stay tuned for that. The emotional beats didn't really get me. The action and the urgency of this series definitely kept me invested. Every episode they're escaping from something. Just when they think they was safe, it's a new threat that they have to deal with. I'm not just talking about Scarlet Witch either. The Namor episode, episode 2, ooh, I wasn't even expecting to see Zombie Namor in this series. But his presence definitely kept my eyes glued to the screen. The way my boy was sitting at his throne, eyes closed, aura farming, I knew he was about to be on BT before he even left his seat. First of all, the whole plot against Kamala and Shang-Chi's group from Zemo, Baron Zemo himself is in this series. Using them as sacrifices to feed Wanda was mad crazy. I love the way it backfired on him. Having Namor come out the way he did, pushing Kamala's shields back against the ship, and the desperation in this group to keep Namor back, hold him back from absolutely decimating all of them, because none of them could do anything about bro. Maybe Red Guardian and Shang-Chi, sure, but a zombie version of Namor, them niggas wanted no parts. And that goes back to what I said at the beginning of the video. These groups are not scrubs, but compared to the zombie counterparts in the series, they don't have a chance in a 1v1 setting. And at the end of episode 3, Thor holds off Scarlet Witch so that they're able to go into space and escape whatever the hell is going on this Earth. Just for the Nova Corps to push them back onto the Earth they just tried to escape from. I know they was sick. Like, there's no way I could just let us in. And they gave them no time to even turn around. They started counting down instantly. They didn't give them no 5 minutes to think about what they wanted to do. Just count down into shooting. They would have all lost their lives had it not been for the plot teleporting them to Wakanda. And obviously in the last stand, we have our main group fighting against the zombie horde. The zombies already had the clear advantage over our heroes, but then zombie Thor came into the mix. That automatically takes out Worldbreaker Hulk because he has to focus all his attention against a zombified Thor. So yeah, they were done. We even got Spider-Man saying at some point in this exchange, zero hope once Thor pulls up. When in the end, Scarlet Witch offers Kamala a deal. You shake my hand, I'll save everybody. Can't do it without you, Kamala. We gotta join forces. And Kamala has obviously been resistant to this idea throughout the whole season, but seeing the layout of the land right now, what other choice did Shorty have? She shakes her hand and wakes up in her bed in Jersey. And you would have thought the day was saved the way Kamala and Scarlet Witch's powers intertwined by that last scene before Kamala wakes up in bed. But no, it was not. She woke up in a Genjutsu. She's seeing Kate and Riri all over again. What's clearly fake. While they went out to literally get Boba, we got Kamala having active visions of what went on in the other Earth that she thought she escaped. But Riri from the other world clearly lets her know to not trust the Scarlet Witch. All that shit she's seeing is fake. And it makes sense when you think about what Wanda Maximoff was able to pull off in WandaVision, where she's able to create this whole fictional world in West Point. She's a mother, she's a wife to Vision, not having to worry at all about what's actually going on in the real world. I mean, we've seen her pull this trick off in episode 3, where she was able to fool everybody on New Asgard into thinking she was the Queen of Sokovia and that they were eating actual food. In reality, they were eating zombie guts, which ended up turning my boy Red Guardian into a zombie. Rest in peace. In the end, we got Kamala just acknowledging that this reality that she's in right now is not real at all. And the sick part about it is that she doesn't have the power really to throw herself back into the world that she wasn't. But even if she could, why would she even want to go back? There's no way in hell everybody that she fought with didn't get dusted. At the same time, everything that she's about to experience in this world is all fake. It's all an illusion. Again, jutsu. Yeah, really tough spot Kamala's in. But my frustration with this ending really stems from the fact that, are we even going to get a Marvel Zombie Season 2? And if not, what was the point in entertaining this? Personally, I would have rather seen some resolution as opposed to us getting a cliffhanger for something that we might not get. I don't know, I just feel like, what was the point of entertaining this if y'all aren't going to put out another season of this show? What gives me hope that they will, though, is that this is a continuation of that What If episode. So they'll probably want to continue with this series going into season 2, technically 3. But where do we go from here? Wanda is top dog, and I don't really think there's a way Kamala can escape from this Genjutsu she's in. I don't think there's any hero from the group that she was traveling with that has the ability to stop Wanda, much less break Kamala out. Now, can we assume Riri Williams is still alive by the end of the series and she was actually talking to Kamala some way, somehow? Maybe. I mean, we didn't see Riri die in that first episode, and if you don't see the body, then they probably not dead. But one, if Riri is still alive, then Kamala definitely has no reason to want to return back to that world. Because yes, while her friend is still alive, she's fighting off a horde of zombies. And two, even if Riri Williams is still alive, what is she doing against the Scarlet Witch? They were struggling against a zombified Captain Marvel. No disrespect against Captain Marvel, but Wanda is clearly the top dog here. There is nothing stopping her. So then my question becomes, is there even a point in the season 3? I don't know. Scarlet Witch has always been busted as hell, but she died in Multiverse of Madness, so there has to be a way to kill her, right? Those are just my thoughts on Marvel Zombies. I give the series as a whole a cool 8 out of 10. Things I didn't like, but then there were a lot of things that I did like. I would be interested to see another season of this series, but y'all leave in the comments, do y'all think we go get one? And what did y'all think about the series overall? I'll be your host, Jay Soft. We've been entertained, and we go talk soon.